Alrighty, it's the nightcap for this Week 2 matchup between BrewersFanJP and chessjerk. Both runners are 1-0 after winning their Week 1 matchup. I'm Furious K alongside Califax. Califax, we both know these two. Their names are fairly prominent, not only in this randomizer, but in other games as well. So it should be a fun match to see which one of them comes out on top.
Totally agree. And we actually have another race at 2 a.m., I believe, 2 a.m. Eastern. Not technically the nightcap for anybody who's a real night owl.
That's technically the day cap, though. I mean, it's AM.
Fair, that's fair.
But yeah, it is Week 2 of the Random Force tournament, which means 5 to 8 Triforces to enter level 9. We'll figure out what it happens to be in this one as we look to be underway here momentarily on both sides. Looks like it's going to be the Dead Woods start, which is not perhaps ideal for the runners, but it's not all the way at the dead end, so it could be worse.
Yeah, I really don't like starting in the Deadwoods myself. So if you take early deaths, it's so long to get back to where you need to be.
What's even worse is it appears that some of the easier dungeon enemies, I mean, none of them are particularly fun to deal with, but the Guerrilla are on the overroll, which means Dark Nuts and Wizrobes are staying down, it appears. And that's not necessarily a fun time.
We got 34 mid-secret, not terrible, but could be better.
Well, it's enough to get 2 packs of bombs. It looks like those start at 17 rupees, so again, could be worse.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. So maybe we should talk about the flags a little bit while these guys are getting started.
Yeah, the flags are definitely going to be interesting. It does lend itself to wanting to find 9 first, if at all possible. And if you find 9, then you know how many Triforces you need to get in there. The other thing that's a little bit interesting is that the newest flag set, or one of the newest flag sets, is the ability to shuffle the items basically as if Heart Shuffle were off, however, placing the dungeon item perhaps on the floor and the floor heart in the staircase, so it rotates those only.
Yeah, it seems like people are really liking that flag so far.
Well, it depends on the seed they get rolled, I think, but nevertheless,
Fair enough.
It is a new twist on the same old randomizer that we've been playing now for quite a few years. Another anniversary is coming up here soon.
It's going to be pretty easy to find bombs tonight, so at least the second bomb shot. 78 for the large secret. Didn't quite catch what that door repair was, but I think it was at least 20.
It's not great when those roll up. However, first quest overall money should be enough to kind of carry the runners, as level 7 appears to be on the bomb spot between Vanilla 6 and the Armos location.
Not doing much in there without a sword. Oh, hard on the floor. Yeah, Abno makes a good point in chat there. We are going to have to buy a candle tonight. There's no extra candles. So that's another departure from recent tournaments.
Yeah, it used to be you'd always have the sword and the candle in the first in the wood sword cave. Unfortunately, this time, as you noted, you do have to buy them, so have to calculate that in a little bit when you're routing in some of your money choices.
Oh, JP 2 rupees short for that candle, but he at least found it. Seen a couple races recently where it's been 30-40 minutes before somebody found a candle.
JP's thinking about whether or not he wants to use a bomb there, use it to hit some of the moblins. In the end, he gets 3 rupees, which normally you'd bemoan a little bit, but I think in this case, he's going to be okay with it.
Yep, just enough.
And there is the flute at the Arbo statue, so both runners likely to have it at this point.
Yeah, so we got 3, 34, and 78 for our secrets with at least a 20 door repair. So it's not great money, but at least bombs aren't too expensive.
Looks like both parties will be able to get the blue candle in the end here, as CJ also finds enough money to get above what the candle price is, which was a little bit higher than normal, but definitely going to have enough money with at least 2 or so more large secrets to be able to buy whatever else is really needed. Looks like we have a fairly expensive hint shop up the ladder on Eastern Death Mountain. Don't have the book yet, which is for hints, so we are not really that worried about it yet, and maybe by the time we get back there, we won't really need it for all that much more information.
Yep, definitely a good point there. Of course, all of our old men are going to be saying the same thing until we find that book.
Plus or minus 2 on the HP rolls. We won't know if the moblins or the Gria are killable with the blue candle for at least a few more attempts. However, the wood sword has found its way up to Death Mountain East in the open cave there, so early advantage to BrewersFanJP.
Yeah, that's a gross wood sword location. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes CJ to get up there.
Chessjerk was just at the coast. I didn't quite catch it before his screen rotated back.
Oh, we have a book
but it looks
on
like
the
it's
coast.
the book.
Yeah.
The stun in the background, clicking the buttons, has marked it as book. I will absolutely believe that.
Another large secret for JP there in the Dead Woods.
So the real interesting question I'll have is, we've only seen one dungeon thus far, I believe level 7. And I didn't see whether or not we got a taste of both the Dark Nuts and the Wiz Robes rolling together, or if they didn't appear at all in that dungeon. So I'm not sure if anybody caught the enemy set that was there, but that should be an interesting thing to look forward to as we roll into a few more dungeons here shortly.
Yeah, there were Pole's Voice and Gibdo's in there, so I don't think we might have one of Dark Nuts or Wizards, but I doubt we're gonna have both of them.
Well, we're sticking around the Dead Woods for now. Again, not the greatest of start screens, but we should see some progression towards the east here soon, given we have that candle now in hand, and there's plenty of candle spots that direction. The flute has kind of thrown a loop in that initial plan, though.
Yeah, I mean, we got a flute and you got a candle, so you might as well finish off the Dead Woods. You got everything you need. Another door repair for CJ. He's gonna retry to get some of his money back.
Yep, I think we've seen most of the items that you're going to be able to see in these shops at this point. Maybe missing one that has a mixture of some of the things we are going to need for the seed, but overall, really not much on Western Overworld.
Yeah, have we seen a key shop yet?
We've seen 3 different shops, so we've definitely seen one of them. It might be the expensive key in one of the shops.
So no, for whatever reason, the keys tend to be a big problem in these flags. Oh, speaking of key shop, there you have it. It's 85 for that one. Which I think is the cheap key, probably.
Plausible. So 85 and 89 is, I think, what the chat is going with. So both are basically the same at this point.
Yep. Thanks for that, chat.
Wait for one of those seeds where we really don't have a lot we can do on the overworld early as far as dungeons, and you have to go, like, in this case, level 7, but, you know, just, you only get a few choices in there, and none of them are particularly great.
JP finds any roads.
Yep, it's going to begin a little trek for him, as CJ, I think, found them a little bit earlier, so JP's just kind of covering the same bases for himself, though Chet and CJ already had. We have not been short on heart containers, at least. A lot of the take any ones were available early enough here.
I'm sure CJ will be pleased by that. He does love his hearts.
Yep, definitely a fan of grabbing all the heart containers. However, we'll see if maybe the Coast Heart is in level 9. If he decides to go in there at that point, I would bet probably is going to go for the race win as opposed to the memes.
Is that our third large secret that CJ just found?
I think he may have found all 3 at this point. If not, would still have enough medium secrets to get some money taken care of. Hey,
There's another level.
Not sure how much chessjerk's going to dig. Maybe a couple of the open rooms. Not a lot of combat availability here, and that is a little bit far away.
And that is Lionel's and Wizrobes together. Gross.
So not quite the wombo combo of Darknut Wizrobe, but I don't think that's much better.
Oh, Power Bracelet on the floor in 4.
Yeah, be interested to see if he tries to find some keys in some rooms here, or if he goes for the Triforce. Could say he's going for the heart container, but I think that's probably a distant second to at least one of those options.
JP's gonna join CJ in this 4 here.
Yeah, barring a ladder block or some sort of maybe a Goma block or something, should be able to get up there. Combat might be a block in the end, though. As yep, that's a hug. Lionel made him think he was clear until he turned around, but nevertheless, going to be a fairly quick and easy route up there again, so I don't think it really cost him too much time, as it looks like JP is going to be able to clear the Wallmaster room for a key. I do kind of suspect that's what the advantage is that JP is going to gain here more than anything else. I mean, Triforce maybe as a bonus if there's combat involved. Oof, that is a locked room unless you use your bombs. That's not fun.
I'll get some map for it. JP did pick up his Power Bracelet as well.
Not a fun room below the Triforce. What about the Triforce room itself? Oh, Wallmaster, I think they're 1 each piece, so both should be able to clear this, but it may take CJ a few attempts with the candle. Or just going to use the bombs. That might work too.
Alright, gets his bombs back.
Yep, got the 10 count for us as well.
Simultaneous pickups.
So the only real gain here is JP leaves with a key in hand, whereas CJ has 0, so that may come into play or may not. So back to the overall we go. Power Bracelet does lead to level 3. We don't know if the Power Bracelet is strictly required until there's an item that's important in here, or we have a huge Triforce requirement, though, so the verdict will still be out as to whether or not it would have mattered. It is also segmented, because why not?
Yeah, looks like it's that same Lionel Wizard set again.
Yep, and the gift keeps on giving. The Wizrobe hits him right as he gets out of the staircase, and the Lionel finishes him off.
That's brutal. Try and dodge the Wall Master and then just get sorted in the face.
chessjerk now heading in, so this enemy set has claimed victory on both sides so far. chessjerk may also clip in here to see if this is the item, which is a fair thought. Probably going to be disappointed with the outcome.
Nice swordless clip there from CJ.
Will he get the Wizrobe beam in the face? No, he stepped up. That's a sign of someone who's been hit one too many times with the Wizrobe beam, now knows what to look for.
Oh, free Triforce.
Yeah, with the key doors and everything to the right there, not surprised to see chessjerk pick up the Triforce. May try and get something for free in the dungeon, like a heart container. There was a little bit of room to move up above the Lionel staircase that he took, but I'm going to for now move on.
Looks like CJ's gonna go burn the forest. See what he can find.
Looks like a decision on the key door is going to happen at some point. I'm not sure if JP will burn it in this dungeon or if he might just opt to take the Triforce as well. Ooh, that clipped just before the Lionel beam. Now has to remember to step up in the next room here or immediately pause. Oh, actually they changed up the spawns. Nice. So you got a shutter door there if you want to clear all that. You've got red Wizrobes and a Triforce here with a key door. You have a key door back at start. And I think the same solution is going to be hit here. Let's come back later.
Yep.
I will say JP does have the flute and a key, so could opt into a save if he so desired, and could just flute to 3, check the first key door. If it's nothing, retry and go about your way.
I mean, and also with that flute, he can get back there anytime he wants, even later when he has more keys. Another heart. I think that might be all the take-inies already.
I think there is one more on both sides currently.
Oh, JP finds Mags in the Desert Open Cave.
Yeah, JP has one additional heart out of that level 3. We find level 2 up relatively close to the northeast in what I call the crossroads screen. We have 3 HP are killable for bomb drops, but no dice on that round. Does, however, pirouette the right door open, if it wasn't already. To answer the question in chat, the remaining blockers on the overworld would be the raft and the ladder, given that there's potentially 2 spots, could also be 0, up on the river road that are available in mixed first.
And that was a pretty brutal room for trying to do swordless.
I have a feeling chessjerk will be the last location in Wood Sword, just call it a hunch.
Yeah, it looks that way. Oh, it finds level 1 though.
Yep, probably just hoping at this point for either any key, wand, or white sword just to make some things easier. Instead, dark nuts and key doors.
One does love his key doors.
Yep, I'm going to go to this Armos. I wonder if we're going to see another pirouette on the key door to the left there, inside level 1.
Yeah, most likely.
I suspect no blue ring purchases this time around. Probably be purchasing keys. Also, pretty likely he's got to take out this recorder spot as well. So you knock this out and you go back into 1, see if you get a freebie item.
Finds the other headshot.
Yeah, that one's a little bit cheaper than the first one we found. If we get a free ladder, perhaps that is something that chessjerk will consider, given the rupee count. I'm gonna ignore level 1 for now, hoping that this cave has what he's looking for. Instead, I believe that's his last take anyone.
Yeah, it should be. He's got 7 hearts, and I don't think he picked any hearts up in the dungeons yet.
Yeah, he had just 6 leaving level 3.
And JP gets his last as well.
The only way I really shame him is if he finishes the game and gets JP on time but not on heart containers. Then I'm going to give him a little bit of grief.
As he should. We'll see if JP can't make a little more progress in this one.
Yeah, he's got the left door open, so we'll see if this leads to an immediate item. Definitely a killable room. It might just be a key, though. Ooh, a ladder blocked center of the room. Could potentially, I guess, have an item in there. I think JP's going to clear it to see.
chessjerk takes an unfortunate death trying to line up the clipless, or words are hard. He's trying to get the forest spot where you have to clip to get the burn spot.
Yeah, swordless, that's not exactly the easiest trick to do.
Well, especially because he didn't want to use his candle to do it, right? Because he needs the candle for the bush.
Correct. Yeah, swordless or without using your candle, I guess. Either or, it definitely is not an easy trick without a little bit of setup. JP is trying to clear this room in 1 because this is the one dungeon where this setup will actually give you a drop item or could be a staircase. So it's got a double potential there. Red dark nuts appear to have rolled up, which is not fun. Blues, I think, rolled a little bit down. About even, actually. But here's our staircase item or a passage. Level 9 also found at the same time. And then we do have a segmented one, too. Level 9.
And we need 6 Triforces tonight.
So again, a little bit of chance involved there. You could take some gambles.
Oh, silver's on the floor in one.
Yeah, that's not going to be a huge deal at this point, because I think when chessjerk goes through progression of dungeons, one will be one that gets cleared. But it's going to be nice to have for both runners, for sure. And since
Sorry, JP found a heart in the next room as well.
Yeah, and since we did not, I don't think either runner bought wood arrows. That will also save money if one has not purchased those. Although I did see chessjerk burn through some money, so he might have.
He just picked up the wood arrows, yeah. And finds level 6.
Alright, so just a little bit unfortunate for chessjerk. However, still plenty of money. Hey, red candle is actually a repeatable offense, so it doesn't hurt everything, but it will increase chessjerk's ability to clear until a sword is obtained.
Yeah, you're definitely somewhat happy to see that when you have nothing else. Could have been better, but could have been worse too, so.
JP is still trying to find his way at least to the Triforce. No keys left in inventory, so depending on what the access points are in this one, that might be the end of it. Yeah, a lot of BMOS rooms on low health. That's not fun. I think JP was using that as a bomb against the wall and against the Gibdo. Does get a heart piece to drop there, so we'll at least be able to survive a little bit longer to get through the shutter door. And we gotta be careful in this room not to take a death. This would be a bad place to go down, as we're close to that Triforce, and this could be the last of the things we need to find in one.
Meanwhile, chessjerk's still trying to find that wood sword. I think he might legitimately be down to just the actual wood sword cave at this point. Red ring.
Defense. Yep. Defense galore now. Don't die the keys. So we'll be able to get back to the Triforce. We'll be able to escape this one. So level 9 items in one. That's a good start. Just need that ladder and bow for potential go mode. Again, the raft is outstanding. However, the chances that it is required at this point have dropped quite a bit, given our Triforce requirement, plus the amount of dungeons that can actually be on there. It would have to actually contain like a bow or something.
Yeah, we've already found enough dungeons to get into 9. Assuming we can clear them all. I think we're just missing 5 and 8.
There's the silvers for chessjerk as the Triforce is picked up by BrewersFanJP. Chessjerk is not going to be able to get to the Triforce or the red ring in this visit. And he's probably thinking, well, I spawned these silvers on the floor by buying my wood arrows.
Oh, I'm sure. Happens every time.
It looks like chessjerk is not going towards Eastern Death Mountain, so maybe still just okay with red candle and clearing some more locations, at least knocking out the few checks close to where he died last time, I think.
Yeah, I think he's seen just about everything over here at this point.
Chat noting that JP was likely on the last of his HP, having taken 3 bops. I'm pretty sure the next bop was death in that Triforce room, so able to escape it without having to go back to start is always nice.
Well, CJ's gonna try and get through that room in 2. With candle boosting, probably.
JP will have a few options when he gets in here momentarily. But we'll also have to Pure Wet open the right door, potentially. Yeah.
Chessjerk actually went a different way too this time. Let's see if this way gets him further. Yes, chat, we have not found the bow yet. He gets a heart for his trouble.
And Triforce, and maybe leaving for the moment to come back later with combat. I always guess wrong, so I'll probably go back in.
Oh, there you go. If you guess both things, you got to be right.
Yep, just gotta set yourself up for success.
That makes an interesting point. I wonder if CJ is going to go straight to mags at this point.
Well, I guess that's probably dependent on what Mag's rolled. It is the normal setup there, where it could be any number of hearts between 10 and 14. Looks like our item is either in a heavy combat room or up in the northwest part of this dungeon.
Chessjerk's finding some keys at least, so it's got to feel good.
Alright, JP now in the Triforce room. I don't think it's double heart 2 confirmed yet. I could be wrong. It was the same heart that CJ found earlier, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, we're running out of rooms. You got to find it soon. Could be the Skurrus Dark Knight room that Chessjerk's in right now. Or the Goma. Or no, the Goma had a key.
Well, we're going to find out in one more room, I think.
Any key. Very nice. And Chessjerk will be able to get that.
Probably get a little bit of a chuckle as he's been at 0 keys all seed until he just got himself up to 4. However, no complaints in the end.
Well, I mean, that's how you find the any key. You get a bunch of keys.
Yep, buy wood arrows, get the silvers, pick up a bunch of keys, or buy a bunch of keys, get any key.
Yeah, exactly.
If only you had more money, you could buy the blue ring and get the red. So this is level 3. There's the heart he was missing earlier. JP is up another heart container again. I actually am not sure where. Mag's at 11 though. So the rich get richer. This is a key point where actually he doesn't know it yet. If this is a heart level 3, Chessjerk could get mags for sure. Yep. May still be able to get mags.
I believe JP's extra heart was in 1, I think.
They both got in 1 because it was at that key door where chessjerk had 0. So I know that one. Must have been somewhere else. Wasn't in 2, so hard to say.
I feel like the only other heart we found was in 7.
Apparently we had one more taken, potentially. Oh, it must have been much earlier on. Yeah, Death Mountain Dig that chessjerk has not done has one, so CJ's still got 1 left out there to go get. Yep, so the critical question now is how much of a lead will the magical sword give BrewersFan? Will it give him a decisive edge, or will it just get him a little bit further ahead?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a combat disparity right now.
I think it comes down to, again, whether or not chessjerk has enough hearts to be able to get the magical sword himself here momentarily. Another key door here, probably. There is a ladder block, so that may be blocking the item, the staircase item. Not guaranteed, of course. There's plenty more to do here.
Oh, the map will help.
One item, or one room, I should say, is blocked by it. And we get to go back to start now. Isn't that exciting?
Meanwhile, JP finds level 6. Looks like he's gonna leave it. Hope he doesn't need to deal with it.
Yep, it'll work out if he does decide to leave behind, as red candle is not a super important thing. However, it's also worth noting that with magical sword, a lot of the combat's going to be trivialized, especially with red ring as defense. However, if it does have a moat block that direction, then it's going to only cut you off to potentially the item.
Also, just kidding. Apparently, JP was just trying to pirouette a door. Or pirouette a bomb hole, rather.
Ooh, we have a rupee boss guarding a potential staircase room.
This has to be it, right? There's like nothing left.
Well, that one ladder blocked room could have been it. However, this will be it, and it's ladder.
I mean, you're happy to see that, but I'm sure chessjerk would really like some offense right now.
Well, it's an interesting bit of find, I guess, here, because we have not had many ladder blocks to this point, so it may be completely unrequired. However, it will allow chessjerk some additional exploration. I believe he's heading straight to Magical Sword Cave to see if it's available at 10.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This would be pretty big for chessjerk if it is. No, it is 11. Well, I think his next logical progression is probably towards either Vanilla 5, the ladder spots, or Eastern Death Mountain. And on the way to Eastern Death Mountain, he's going to find what he is looking for, maybe. Or there's an any road to the coast book.
Yeah, we can grab the book first. I think he's already been to Vanilla 5.
Well, at least the ladder spots there on the river might be worthwhile. I believe he will run into a hint shop up here as well if he continues this way.
I feel like he's got to just go pick up the wood sword. He's got to know where it is by now.
Yeah, still going to do some clearing on the way, though. I'm convinced that was the right spot on the first one.
I always mess these spots up.
I believe it's like, there's like little squares. I believe it's the 4th square from the left on the first one, and it's the 5th on the, it's the 4th on the right, 5th on the left, if I remember.
Yeah, it's definitely something like that. I'm sure you're right. You've been playing this game a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, the trick there is just bomb in between, like the 4 or
Yeah.
5, and you'll hit both. So you don't even have to memorize which one it is. Will he buy hints? Not at that shop. At least not now.
Oh, right, he has the book now, so he can understand them.
Magical sword / bogey arrow. Nothing tonight.
Does look like chessjerk's finally going to get his sword in a moment here.
He's going to get wood sword, and he might get magical sword right after.
Meanwhile, JP picks up his Triforce in 6. So he only needs one more to get to level 9, although he still needs to find the bow. "40-minute wood sword, yikes."
It hasn't done a ton to slow chessjerk down. Again, keys have actually been the bigger slowdown for my money, which may be slightly because the wood sword wasn't available to sort things down, but again, they also just could be choice of key doors or just not spending a little bit of extra time with the blue candle to clear Wallmaster room. There is the 11th heart container, the last of the overworld.
So the extra heart was a take any.
Yeah, won't be heading straight back there. We'll be wanting to clear some more of Death Mountain to see what's up here, what the options are on the overworld, but I think that will be the eventual play. Might even be something he puts off until 12 or 13.
Chat makes a good point. Not having the sword earlier forced chessjerk to skip some combat in rooms that didn't really drop anything, so...
Level 8.
There's level 8.
So that's the second, I believe, Power Bracelet block dungeon.
Yep.
We get an
Idiots there.
Yeah, instant transport. And JP is also routing this direction, so we should see both runners in here.
So what do we think? Segmented? To stare that early?
Not necessarily. Segmentation's a lot more common because we have kept the dungeon starts on the bottom of the screen. If we had had that flag on where they're shuffled on any side of the room in any part of the dungeon, then I think it removes a little bit of that potential.
Old man tells us where level 4 is, but we already know.
Gonna be honest, I still think I probably get some hints. I at least get the cheaper hint shop knocked out. We are early enough where we have a lot of things outstanding. You are correct on the segment, I believe, now.
Yep, has to be.
So if we get the Triforce out of this dungeon, chessjerk goes back to 1. You can clean up that for the 5th. Be interesting to see where the 6th dungeon Triforce is obtained from. BrewersFanJP, on the other hand, has 5 Triforces down already, so this will be the 6th. And that's a question of where do you go looking for the bow if it's not an 8. You're not going to go to 9 for it, so your other options are not so great. Level 3, which would just get the ladder, which potentially is helpful, but also is not exactly what he's after.
I mean, if I'm JP, I'm definitely going to look in 3 first. If I'm still looking for a bow after I have the 6 Triforce.
Yeah, but then do you go looking for 5, or do you dig 7 where you know where it's at? That would be the decision to make. There is a Goma blocking a potential stair block there,
But of course, that can't be the bow.
correct? Or at least in theory, as long as the seed isn't broken. We've not had one of those in a while in a tournament, and hopefully never again. Boomerang.
Yeah, to answer your question, I think you probably dig 7, and depending on how much overload you have left. If you only have a handful of spots left, then maybe you go searching for 5. But
what a silly segmentation that is.
that is a shape.
Kind of rare to see the line across the bottom. Less rare in the 7, 8, 9 sharing the 8x16, I suppose. And no major ladder blocks yet in this 8, so can get through a lot of it. Oof.
Seems like our level 9 tonight's going to be pretty big.
Hard to say, because again, it's got to fit the whole scheme here, so it could just be that there are a few less rooms in all dungeons. Let's see what we got here. We got 5, 11, 15, 19, 24, 28, and a shutter door with a Goma. So what, 27, 28 would be 55, and if you assume them close, so yeah, it could be big. I don't know if it's going to be the full brick, but it could be a decent size. Alright, well, I mean, a lot of the old men in dungeons are going to give you location hints, only a few of them actually give you items. And Patra almost gets chessjerk and may raid boss it from the door before it expands again.
Yeah, there's no way out. No way out there.
JP can take a handful more bops because of Red Ring. May also choose to clear this room, although has permanently expanded it by hitting the unfortunate Petrobe that sets that expanding and versus normal. And your reward for just going through the key door and ignoring that Patra is a second Patra, which may be guarding a staircase.
Yeah, this Patra could be guarding an item, though.
It's a little bit easier for JP with his magical sword. However, it's just a compass. So that helps JP. That'll be Triforce number 6 if it's not Goma blocked, which I believe we've seen some Gomas in here. If it's Goma blocked, we have to choose a different dungeon.
Chester keeps getting bullied out of the room.
He thinks it might be an item, which is fair.
I mean, for his perspective, it totally could be.
Oof. Ooh, a ladder block in here, though. Might be blocking the item. I don't know that Chester got through all of that area. He might have.
I don't think he did.
Actually, no. Chester has been down there because he's seen this Goma. So raises the question: where has Chester not seen in here? Maybe to the right. The dog is going to go inside. Yep. I think chessjerk was waiting to potentially use his bomb there, but the doggo took off for the middle again.
Yep.
Actually, easier to get him here if you let him.
Nice job.
I'd love to see chessjerk's map of this.
Yeah, same. Yeah, he's definitely been up here because we saw that hint.
I don't think we went down through
Maybe,
this wall.
yeah, this one room below here.
Heart.
Well, maybe that'll make him go check mags again.
He's thinking that Patra is the item. I wonder if he saves and goes to get magical sword now and to go back to take that guy on for the compass. It's gonna flute here. Depends on where he's fluting to. This is to 3. He is walking up there.
Yeah, he's totally gonna go grab mags.
So if it comes down to a pretty close finish, the big play of the seed was mags being 11 instead of 10. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. And is he going to go straight back to 8? I mean, you can go back to 1 now as well.
True. He might go back to 1 first.
He's walking somewhere. Is 6 over here as well, I believe?
No, 6 is in the Lost Hills. He's going to 1, I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't have the Triforce there. That's also fair. For some reason, I had imagined him having it. As JP's back in 3, we'll find an item that is somewhat helpful, but perhaps not exactly what he was after.
Yeah, it makes total sense to do this play as chessjerk. You're missing the Triforce and you're missing an item. And it's a small dungeon, so...
Yeah, would have been really interesting if JP had picked a different dungeon to gamble on. It was absolutely not a good call to make to go anywhere but 3. It just happens that 3 does not quite have the item he's wanting here, and he's also going to get shuttered in the same trap.
At the same time, though, I'm sure he'll be happy to see that. You don't want to be going into level 9 without a ladder and then wondering if Zelda is going to be sitting in a moat room.
Yep. chessjerk now heading up to the Triforce location. The red ring, I believe, is 2 rooms past.
Definitely looks like he's going to stay and find this other item, which makes total sense.
To answer the question, chat, no, bow cannot be a 9. It can only be in 5, 7, or the second item at 8 at this point. Looking for that 5 hint, gets the 7 hint. Does not help too much. And meanwhile, JP's about to get the staircase item out of 3, and we'll be able to cross the boats. I will be interested to see if JP decides to go after hints.
I mean, I think it would be a good idea. He's almost money capped, and he really needs to find that bow. So he's good to go. Like, he's in go mode as soon as he finds it.
Yep, so the deal with his purchases that need to be made are that he potentially needs to make a bait purchase, depending on where the bait block ended up being. The other purchases you can make are bomb packs and hits. Everything else, I believe, at this point he has already purchased and does not need.
He is going straight for the hints.
There's a high chance that they all dud. However, if even one of them tells him something he doesn't know, it's helpful. That tells him the boomerang that he found an 8 is an 8. Hint number 2 tells him the silvers that he picked up were in 1. Fire the arrow to locate the heart container, which means the Goma block in 8 is likely the heart, would be my presumption on that.
I agree for sure. Totally. So that means we're looking at either 5 or 7, and we still don't even know where 5 is.
Yep, again, that's not definitive, but it's, if I were JP, I would be remembering that Goma in 8, and I would probably go away from 8, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I feel like 5 is likely in West DM. I feel like that's the only roll spots we haven't seen yet.
Yep, very, very, very plausible at this point as well that 9 has the magic boomerang and wand. Again, not guaranteed, but very likely.
Yeah, because whichever 5 and 7 that doesn't have the bow must have the raft.
Still not. Okay, that's kind of, sort of helpful, I guess. It tells you that 5 isn't on the rest. Oh, hey, there's the helpful hint.
Now he knows where to go.
Decisive advantage JP at this point.
Yep, he knows exactly what he needs to do now.
9 can do 9 things, so it is not over. However, chessjerk has not shown any interest yet in the hint shop. He's seen the one on Death Mountain recently enough, at least. So that tells us that very, very... Well, actually, there's a white sword out there. There's actually the white sword item that I believe we still have not found. That would be the other thing to think about.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But the raft is either the white sword item now or likely 5. The white sword is a dungeon item somewhere. Wand and magic boomerang are the other ones. So we're not quite to the point where we can fill out a tracker at this point.
I'm going to say it's white sword and wand in 9. Looks like chessjerk wants to dig the second item out here in 8. Which is going to be a problem for him because we think it's the Goma blocked heart.
Yeah, he hadn't seen the boomerang yet.
Oh, he hadn't seen the boomerang yet. Okay, I think that makes more sense then. If you're still missing both items.
Hey, the 7's fairly beefy, so I think 7 and 8 ended up very close in size. There's the bow. Now in go mode.
That was fast. Oh, it looks like JP picked up a bomb upgrade as well. I missed that.
Yep, that was just before getting to that bow. Now has 0 rupees, so we'll need to find at least 1.
So chessjerk picks up his Triforce out of 8. I'll be interested to see where he goes next. Will he go for the hints? Will he go back to 7, back to 6? Or he might just dig out the rest of West Death Mountain looking for the white sword item. And immediate Ganon in 9 for JP.
Yep, no sooner did I get the audio set up for than he find Ganon, so could be a very quick 9.
It looks like level 7 being right next to level 8 might save chessjerk a little bit, because he should find the bow soon here. And then at that point, he just needs to find the Triforce in 7, and he'll be right back, right in 9, right behind JP. This is definitely not over yet. And that is a very chonky 9. Looks like 58 rooms.
That is a deserved stab for that hint. Thanks, old man. That old man also kind of deserves a stab, but he's just going to disappear. chessjerk is, again, though, in the right dungeon, the wrong portion of the... No, he's in the right portion of the dungeon, so...
Right here, yeah.
However, needs a Triforce still, I believe.
He does, yeah.
Okay, get over here. Is this where Zelda might be? It won't be this room, because this is where the map was.
So for Team chessjerk, you're looking for a Magic Stair Zelda in 9 and a quick Triforce in 7. Then we can get a... Maybe this could be real close.
I think, however, this is really going to come down to Magic Staircase or JP winning at this point. The margin's getting bigger in this 9 because it's been fairly accessible at this point. Alright, so the game does not intend you to go up there, however, JP could opt to clip around it, which it appears he will do. And that was just a dud room period. Dead end. So bomb left in Ganon. Have we done that maybe? Nope, gonna go up through the key door. Uh-oh, that's even worse for chessjerk. We have a compass. I think this might inspire JP to go through some stairs. Chat revising their predictions for Zelda's location as the compass appears. That's always funny.
Oh, there's a compass for chessjerk. That helps.
Yep, gets the compass for the Triforce in 7. However, it's looking likely that that is too little too late, unless you cannot bomb
not
here.
necessarily.
Ooh, bomb up? The long way? No.
Nope.
Gotta go down and around, or you got a magic stair. That'd be... Wouldn't that be exciting, magic staircase? Triforce in 7.
Yep, so chessjerk's got his ticket to 9.
Well, it's kind of closer. If we bomb up and can go left, it's GG. Yep, that is it, unless it's a shoot. So get your GGs out for BrewersFanJP with a time of 1:03:03. So all in all, a very well played seed by BrewersFanJP. Not too many deaths. Found some useful offense and defense earlier than chessjerk and made that work all the way through to level 9, which I believe chessjerk actually just avoided the roar of Ganon. Or is just checking real quick. Just checking. So this should be fairly quick work for chessjerk to take care of Ganon. Zelda, however, going to be a little bit more difficult to find until either finds that compass or works his way up that direction. And again, we only saw the one way there, but there might be another.
Looks like JP might be joining us shortly.
Little does chessjerk know he's about 3 rooms away. Wizrobe's trying to help, however, there's no bomb wall here, and this staircase may lead him astray a little bit.
That's kind of close, but he doesn't have the compass, so he doesn't know.
Now, the compass is way over, I want to say, in the blank column, kind of in the middle of the map. So, not going to be too lucky unless it goes straight there, which, you know, the game does route you back that way. I mean, chat's saying maybe should have bombed up there. It's really hard to judge. A lot of these 9s have been staircase to Gan or staircase to Zelda, so sometimes you want to knock those out and eliminate options. And I think that's just kind of the way the seed kind of progressed him. With 10 bombs, I suppose maybe you could say it wasn't the right call, but I think it's more to each their own.
Yeah, it's really hard to make a call to bomb there at this with his current knowledge of 9.
I will say he is very close to the compass now. It's left here and either in this room or one more to the left. Maybe we'll figure out what the items are in here. No, that is not the way we want to go. We're instead going to get the leave your life or money room. I guarantee you he's leaving money before he leaves life. He's just instead going to leave the room. Always better to just leave, as chat's pointing out. Sometimes you never know, you might have to go up there. Solid refund there. Alright, so we're going to go up. I think my guess is he goes right this time. And that should lead him to the compass very quickly.
That's right here.
And now he knows that he was very close earlier. Will be a little bit frustrated perhaps, but still going to finish within about 6 minutes of JP's finish time, so very respectable. Alrighty, he has now found the path, and GG's again in chat for chessjerk, finishing just under the hour 9 mark here at 108.56. And we're now joined by BrewersFanJP. GG's, and congrats on joining the 2-0 club.
Thank you. I mean, I was surprised. I keep my room somewhat hidden while I'm racing, so when I was expecting to hit done and see CJ already finished, like I would have just see the timer stopped, and then the timer kept going. I'm like, wait, I won that? Because I thought I messed up somewhere.
I wonder if CJ knows what the difference was. I bet you he does.
GG, JP.
Yeah, GG.
I'm guessing the difference is don't dig 8.
Well,
One heart container was probably the biggest difference. So I think JP made it up to Eastern Death Mountain much earlier in the seed to find the wood sword. However, you kept pace to that point. It was at 11 hearts and magical sword that JP started to take off and get a little bit of ground on you. As 10 hearts was not enough. That's what chessjerk checked it at. That would have been his first sword of the seed at like 40-ish minutes, I want to say. But
Yeah,
that
right.
yeah,
but you were really holding pace there for a long time with the red candle, and it really wasn't until JP got that big combat boost with the offense, at least defensively, he had that quite a bit earlier. But once he got that magical sword, it was off to the races. And then the bow hint on the hint shop in Death Mountain was the final piece of the puzzle for you, JP, and that got you the bow, which got you into 9. I would say about the margin of the time difference is about what the difference in 9 ended up being. Maybe a minute gained in 9 by you, but not much.
yeah, JP, you actually had the magical sword before chessjerk even had the wood sword.
Wow. I mean, the wood sword was in probably the worst spot it could be in this seed, but I guess that doesn't fully surprise me because it's one of those spots you don't like to check. But the way I just got things, like getting that recorder under Armos, I'm like, you know what? I can kind of route this to go check that area early, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, that was a great call on your part.
I knew where the wood sword was way, way before I picked it up.
I knew you must, because I'm like, chessjerk's seen everything. He must know where it is, but I guess you were content to play swordless with the red candle.
It was doing me pretty good, but it has its limits. If I had found a bow earlier, I mean, if I had bought I guess I went to get the wood sword before I had the book. I saw the hint shop and just never went back to it. I did think about buying hints, but I figured I know where all my dungeons are except for 5, and I figured I would just come across the bow sooner than trying to buy hints. I mean,
Yeah.
I had 2 really bad overworld deaths, which didn't help, and yeah, it definitely felt behind the entire time.
Yeah.
Especially when I found the bow, I thought, yeah, I could have had this a long time ago.
I don't remember all the deaths for JP, but JP also had a slightly unfortunate death on his side at one point. You both also fell for the classic Chevy room shutter door shenanigans in 3. That was a good time. We saw some shutter doors in Goma rooms without the bow. Also a good time. And I want to say, if I'm remembering the hints correctly, the hint shop closest to the book, the one at Vanilla 2, I want to say it was Silver's hint, a boomerang hint, and a fire the arrow to get the heart container, which we assumed was the 8-second item under the Goma on that single push block room.
Yeah, I assumed when I got that hard hint, I'm like, okay, that's probably 8, so I'm probably not going back to 8. So it was a matter of in the second hint shop, did I get a bow hint or did I not? Because if I didn't get the bow hint there, I was probably going to go look for white sword item before digging anything else, because I never saw that.
Yeah, neither one of you found the white sword item, and neither one of you found 5. We assume that they're both in West Death Mountain. I think you guys covered everything else.
Besides raft spots, yeah, that's all I got left.
Well, there was
okay. I mean, I can tell you the rest of the items then. If we assume heart container is in 8, that means raft is in 5, and then wand and white sword are in 9. Well, I guess the white sword item is out there too. That's
Yeah.
true. That may not
That
be,
trip-
may or may not be.
that tripped us up as well. We forgot about the white sword item briefly, but we got a sail knot hint at the second shop and then the bow hint. That's what we
Yeah,
got
so
there.
the white sword item could have been raft blocked, but we know 5 wasn't.
Yeah, I also have magic boomerang out there somewhere. That's my other remaining item.
Yep, saw nothing in 9, saw nothing in 5, saw no white sword item, so hard to say where the rest of the stuff was hiding. But
Mine could have been a lot faster if I had gone right instead of left and found the compass.
I pretty much did the same thing. Like I saw Ganon, I went up just to see if Zelda was there. She wasn't, so I'm like, I don't like leaving the other direction and the opening undone, so I'm gonna go do that first because I don't want Zelda to be like right behind the other way beyond the entry, which she wasn't. And then my second time through, I went right and there was the compass, and basically guided me to her. I got like blocked at one point, but then staircases were fortunate for me.
You two
I
had
had
very...
the map was in that first room, so I cleared it, got the map, and then I saw after going all the way around and coming back to start, and then getting the compass, like, oh well, I just go straight to Zelda then, and it was a straight path.
yeah, there's a chance that maybe you bomb the wall and find Zelda earlier with the bomb pack on the floor, but the staircase was pretty appealing to try and find more rooms to not burn resources in, maybe come back to the bomb pack. So didn't really change the outcome at that point, but definitely some different options that could have played out, perhaps to make up time or lose more time, depending on what you did.
I will say that my late game rupee spending was very well on point.
Well, we're a little bit concerned that maybe you would find your way into a rupee before finding Ganon.
I got exactly one.
So
Yeah.
I need...
Don't miss.
Hey, you guys had very similar 9s, I would say. JP just got in there a handful of minutes sooner. The other sort of difference in the seed, because JP had the wood sword earlier, he was able to get the red ring in 1 the first time into 1. So in addition to the offense advantage, he also had the red ring way sooner than you did, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone further in 1 with just candle. Probably would have been okay. I can't remember if any of the Dark Knight rooms were required.
I don't think you
So-
could get to the red ring without a sword, I want to say.
No, you could
so-
get there, but you had to clear where the key came from to get to it. It was key locked. The key that you needed was in the Wallmaster room in 4. That's where JP picked up his key to be able to access more of that 1 to be able to get the red ring in the first go. Because it was, I want to say it was a key door left into a Gibdo turret room into a Gibdo staircase room.
I do wonder if I had gotten the bow hint, if I go straight to 7 for the bow, and then I ignore 8 entirely, and just go to 6 for my 6 Triforce, and then go to 9. I wonder if the Triforce in 6 was easily accessible. I could have saved a bunch. Because I wasted so much time in 8. It got me the 11th heart for mags, but that's about that. It took so long in there.
Yeah, I'm bringing my map. It would depend if you had the ladder when you went into 6. If you did, it was actually just 2 rooms up from the start. But there was a Chevy room in the way.
Yeah, no, if I get the bow hint, I finished like 15 minutes sooner. Oh well, that's random for you.
I mean, you can pick about 10 different things that happen in this seed that could have changed times rather dramatically in both directions. So you just pick one at random. It's randomizer. It happens. And 2 very, very good runners, JP having come quite a ways in the last 2 or 3 years. Chessjerk, always very, very formidable foe, but in the end, JP this time has made it to 2-0 to face off against presumably another fun opponent, and Chessjerk equally fun opponent, probably in 1-1.
I wish luck to the 1-1 group because there's so many good people going to be in that 1-1 group, and I mean, GG again. I mean, I definitely this is a pretty big one for me, so I'm really happy about it. I've been practicing this a lot, and I've been getting better. I've been feeling better, and this is definitely a big one for me.
You played exceptionally well.
Thank you.
This field is stacked. There's going to be 0-2 people that are also extremely good.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it.
There's 92 good players in this tournament. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking of good players, there are 2 more set to face off in an hour, which I unfortunately will probably have to catch the VOD of tomorrow. But it is Big Slamoo in Cantaloupe Me at 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 my time, or 11 if you're on the West Coast. It looks like it's going to be on Speed Gaming with Tracy calling her second race of the day, technically, depending on what side of the U.S. or what side of the world you're on to some degree. And it looks like Ace King Spade will be there tracking for them. Stun was tracking for us. Got to call him out before we go. And Calfax, first time in the booth as far as commentary goes. Not that scary.
No, it wasn't
You
scary.
did brilliantly.
I love that you can tell me that, chessjerk, as if you were listening the whole time.
I'm looking
I'll
forward.
go back and listen to it just to make sure, but I have ultimate faith that you did brilliant.
Hopefully I did all right.
Too. And thanks to you guys and to Sean for tracking as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And chat, you guys should go ahead and give these runners a follow. They're both fantastic runners. Both put on a great show for you tonight.
Yep. Any final thoughts? We'll let some people get to sleep, and we'll give others an hour to get set up for more fun later.
I guess JP avenged the SG Live loss, so now we're 1-1. So
Yep.
I will await round 3 whenever that comes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm also gonna be getting some rest and watching that race in an hour. So yeah, GG again, chessjerk, and I'll be there a little later.
All right, GG.
With that, we have quite a few matches likely to take place tomorrow somewhere, whether it's on Speed Gaming or on the Zelda 1 Randomizer channel. Be looking towards the schedule, which is on the Discord. There's also links that are available on the Speed Gaming site as well to get there. But for now, I am Furious K, Califax Fun. We will hopefully do it again sometime. And thanks again to the runners and to our tracker for all the work both put into this race, either clicking the buttons or completing the seed and giving us quite a good show. So have a good night, everyone, or see you in an hour.